The air hung heavy with the memory of rain as I traversed the familiar path to La Vire. Years had passed since I last walked this road, my boots kicking up dust that danced in the afternoon sun. The once vibrant countryside now bore the subtle scars of time. A sense of melancholy settled upon me, for La Vire held within its stillness a story as tragic as it was unforgettable. I was drawn back to this place by the whispers of the past, echoes of a tale that had haunted my dreams for years, a tale of loss, of vengeance, and the terrible price exacted by war. It was the story of Mother Sauvage, a name whispered with a mixture of fear and reverence by the locals. As I approached the cluster of houses that marked the hamlet, a figure emerged from the shadows of a weathered oak. Serval, his face etched with the lines of a life lived under the vast Normandy sky, greeted me with a solemn nod.
You've come back. I knew you would.
We stood for a moment, united in our silent acknowledgement of the past. Then Serval gestured towards the ruins that lay ahead, shrouded in a veil of overgrown ivy.
It's still there. The place where it all happened.
The cottage stood as a skeletal reminder of the life it once held. Its stone walls, crumbling and consumed by creeping vines, seemed to groan under the weight of forgotten memories. The roof had long since caved in, leaving a gaping maw open to the elements. It was a place where the living dared not tread, a silent monument to a tragedy etched in stone and blood. Serval, his gaze fixed on the dilapidated structure, began to recount the story of Mother Sauvage.
She was a simple woman, a farmer like most of us, lived a quiet life, tending her land, raising her son.
He spoke of a time before the war when laughter echoed through the fields and the scent of freshly baked bread wafted from the cottage door. Mother Sauvage, he told me, had been known for her kindness, her quick wit, and her unwavering devotion to her son Victor. But the war, as wars are wont to do, cast a long and unforgiving shadow over their peaceful existence. The Franco-Prussian War, a conflict that tore through the French countryside, leaving devastation and despair in its wake, did not spare the humble abode of Mother Sauvage. Serval paused, his eyes reflecting the pain of a memory that refused to fade.
The Prussians, they came for her, just like they came for all of us.
Life, for Mother Sauvage, once as predictable as the changing seasons, was irrevocably shattered with the arrival of the Prussian army. The war, a distant rumble at first, had finally reached their doorstep, bringing with it the harsh realities of occupation. Fear, a constant companion, stalked the once peaceful lanes of La Vire. The rhythms of daily life, the tilling of the land, the harvesting of crops were replaced by the tramp of heavy boots and the guttural commands of a foreign tongue. The laughter that once filled Mother Sauvage's cottage was silenced, replaced by a gnawing anxiety that settled heavy in the air. Victor, her beloved son, a strapping young man who embodied the spirit of La Vire, had been called to serve, leaving Mother Sauvage to face the encroaching darkness alone. Her heart ached with each passing day, her only solace the letters he sent, filled with words of hope and longing for home. Then, one bleak evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the ravaged landscape, a contingent of Prussian soldiers descended upon her cottage. Their arrival, announced by the clatter of hooves and the glint of bayonets, marked the beginning of a nightmare from which Mother Sauvage would never truly awaken. 4 soldiers, their faces hardened by months of campaigning, barged into Mother Sauvage's home, their presence an unwelcome intrusion into her solitary existence. They spoke a language she didn't understand, their words, a harsh torrent that bounced off the stone walls of her kitchen. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through the numbness that had settled upon her. Yet, even in the face of this unwelcome intrusion, a quiet defiance flickered within her. They might take her home, her food, but they would not take her dignity. The soldiers, their manners rough and their demeanor arrogant, made themselves comfortable in her home. They helped themselves to her meager stores of food, their laughter echoing through the cottage, a jarring counterpoint to the fear that constricted Mother Sauvage's heart. Each night she lay awake, listening to the murmur of their voices, the creak of their boots on her floorboards, praying for the dawn and the small comfort of solitude it brought. Her days were spent in a haze of apprehension, the constant fear for Victor's safety, a heavy weight upon her soul.